Alright, this is gonna be commentated in like advance live, just so I can explain my thought process while resolving the mechanics. Yeah, but I'm pretty much using Void is pretty much the best setup for Scorching Bow, and then I'm kind of just using like worse gear for the other slots, so like Glory, Amethyst arrows, and like so on. But it's honestly like not as bad though, downgrading it. Because like some of the kill speeds are like almost the same as like my old setup. I don't have a spec weapon, so I'm just going to be using the Scorching Bow as my setup. I mean, as my spec weapon. Otherwise, you use like Crystal Halberd when the boss prays like does like the protection prayers, or like blowpipe for healing, I guess. Well, I use blowpipe for day 1 because the melee tech wasn't discovered yet. So if you hit this with hit the boss with a melee weapon, it does damage equal to like your strength bonus divided by like some amount. I think 4 or 5. That's also why I have like Sulphur Blaze as my weapon of choice, because it's a multi-hit weapon compared to like Demon Bane weapons, which only does like 1 hit for the echo. The Larva also have 2 HP, so you can hit it and it'll still be fine. So this still dies. Although this does have the downside where it's like if you hit the larva with the what was it? You hit the larva like with that weapon, you can't hit the boss immediately after. Yeah, the first 2 bosses you can skip the slam most of the time. Yeah, first 2 delves you can skip it. If not, you solve it by attacking the farthest one, like the farthest rock first, which is where you want to walk towards, and then the second rock you shoot is like where you start. You start shooting venom at wave 3, but yeah, it doesn't do too much damage. You just need to bring anti-venom. There's also no damage coming in from the boss, so you can turn off protection prayers. You also want to pray based on like, you can tell what comes first based on the color of the boulder. So this is a blue boulder, so it's going to do a magic projectile first, and then it'll alternate. So magic then range. Same applies for like the normal boulders, the brown ones. It'll always alternate between like the 2 styles. It'll never do like crazy stuff. So magic, range. I prayed a little bit too early there. Well, I switched prayers a little too early. And I think its max is like a 40 or like 50 or something. Somewhere around like Leviathan's damage if you mess up. As like the best like frame of reference. Yeah, but it's pretty much like Whisperer. Here in Delfoil, they'll alternate between, they'll do 3 attacks, which is exactly like the Whisperer's like first phase of the auto attacks. Here, ideally, you want the larva to blow up near the boss, so that the phase doesn't take like 20 years to complete. You also want to avoid the venom tile, so you just don't take a bunch of chip damage like what I did earlier. It can be sometimes annoying to keep that up. Especially if like it spawns where like all the melee, like all the acid pools are. Void is really like... Void and Scorching Bow are like really the two essentials you need. Oh yeah, if you're in melee distance, it'll do a melee attack. And for the boulder timing, I generally do like 3 auto attacks. 2 or 3 auto attacks to trigger the orb. Yeah, sometimes like he might do the blue bar phase. Yeah, he might do the blue bar phase sometimes when like the second time. Well, you might have to like 2-cycle it. For this setup, it's RNG, but with like better gear, it's guaranteed, basically. It also helps if you're pot up too. You can also use visual cues to help, but it could be a little tricky. Make sure you hit the boss as well before yeah, but it's like there, it's like a little annoying. If it reaches the boss, that's like okay. Just brew back up. Like most of the time, if you're gonna die to the boss, it's gonna be from burst damage and not like what? It's not gonna be from a lack of supplies. Although ideally you do want to like set yourself up better. Yeah, so it's like here it's like the larva kind of just spawns there, which is very annoying. But yeah, sometimes there's not a whole lot you can do about that. Just be like mindful of like the damage you're taking. Make sure you look at the eye, because that determines where the car goes, where the boss goes. So here, that's where he runs. And he always runs in like omnidirectional, so the compass directions. It'll never be like something like what was it? It'll never be something like where it goes directly to you. It'll always be in a direction, so it's easier to bait the boss like that. Especially here, because you need to have you have to hide behind the boulders, starting from this phase. Yeah, here I messed up a little bit because I didn't use I turned off the prayer too early. Also a little bit unlucky with the larva spawns, because you know the melees are on top of the puddles. I personally just kill them early and then just like bait kill the other larva, because there's no reason not to do that. Okay. Ideally, you pay attention to where the boulder spawn and then bait the boss away. It also does attacks, so you want to be mindful. You also need to make sure you hit the boss while you're at it. Hide behind. That's very unfortunate that you hit all the boulders there, but that was a issue on my part. You'll just have to tank that. It does like 30 to 40 damage. Here I got very good RNG though. Again, always brew up. There's no reason not to brew up. Yeah, but you want to try. You have to bait the boss to minimize the amount of rocks he destroys, or it's just a mess. Okay, here is where it gets a little tricky, because now it's like you have to react faster. Because now it's like as soon as the boulder breaks, the projectile spawns. Here I'm just pathing so I can reach the boss. Okay. Range. Melee. Now he's gonna destroy a lot of boulders, which is not good. You might be able to run behind it or not, but generally you wanna like try your best to position yourself. The biggest thing though, I'd say, is like to stay topped off. Okay, I'm gonna do the slam. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three. Alright. Car phase again. Alright, bait the car again. 1. Oh, no, boss died, so that's fine. But you run here, hide behind there, bait the car this way, then you run there to hide. Alright, this is the biggest wall though, because the boulders are a nightmare to handle with. The handle. Because they come in sets of 2. Larva also comes in sets of 3 now. And you can't preemptively pray, because the second boulder disables it. So it's very tricky. So you have to time it as soon as this blows up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Always pray against the style first. It's okay if the larva reaches the boss, though. Because yeah, it'll heal. And like, you might take a lot of damage from just trying to kill the larva. When it's very important to stay like topped up. Magic. Beat the car again. Range, melee. I messed up there. Bait the car. Magic, magic. Okay, this is the hard part though, where you will most likely die. And this does 5 slams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's sort of like Awakened Leviathan. As like the closest comparison. Because sometimes like it can do the boulder launch right as like you're running, and then you have to prayer flick while pathing correctly. Now with better gear you would kill the boss by now. But since his gear is a little bit cheaper, it's a little more effort. Yeah, but yeah, it's really just the tricky part is when like dodging all the boulder, well, prayer flicking gets the boulders, pathing correctly, handling the larva there. It's a lot to balance out, but it is ultimately doable. And you know, worst case, you just you bring like a phoenix necklace or like some combo food. That's why I have an anglerfish. But yeah, that's a sample clear of a scorching bow plus like void and like I would say kind of gear that like I feel like some people would have if they were trying to like start off with the boss. But yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, the one other thing I forgot is to show the gear equipment. Well, like the stats specifically and the skills. I might have shown it, but I don't remember. But here it is.